Are men falling behind and nobody cares? Are men falling behind and does nobody care? Are men falling behind and does nobody care? What do you mean? Like, are men falling behind in life? I believe so. Statistics say so. Even in the UK, women are doing much better than men academically, getting jobs in the workplace. Why is that? One, because of schools. There's more female teachers than male teachers. Two, I feel like guys, they learn better outdoors. They learn better with, I would say, for me personally anyway, I like physical. I like physical activities. Pause. I know some of you nastiness. When I say physical, you lot, go to the next thing. But also I was a visual learner. And I feel like a lot of guys are visual learners. And also I feel like the subjects that we are taught, the subjects that I was taught back then, I don't know what they're doing now. It wasn't really geared towards guys. And just the way the whole classroom was set up and stuff like that. Because guys are very territorial, very animalistic, I would say. Very animalistic. And because there was more female teachers than guy teachers, like the slightest little thing would get you kicked out of class, and then that would just spiral into the next thing. But then there's not enough role models, guy role models. There's more now, but especially growing up, there wasn't a lot. You got your obvious ones, your rappers and all of that. But this is the joke thing as well. So the rappers that a lot of my generation idolized or looked up to, they will be talking about F school, this, drugs, this, da-da-da, I used to shot. But these man were academically excellent. Tupac, great academically. Biggie, great academically. But a lot of these guys lie in their raps talking about they dropped out school, they did this, a lot of these rappers lie. And you have to think about it. If you're a rapper, you have to be good at, you don't have to be, because I know there's some rappers that are dyslexic that can't spell and just remember their raps. But a lot of these rappers, you have to write your bars down. You have to be good with the pen. So you got to be good at English literacy and all that stuff. But I do feel a lot of guys are falling behind. And I do feel a lot of guys fall behind. And I feel, a little bit's unfair advantage, you could say. If a good-looking woman comes into the workplace and you got an older man who's the CEO, the boss, he may, it happens. Let's talk about it, man. He may just, favorite the woman. And she might have to do what she needs to do to move on. And I'm not saying they all do that. But I've seen it happen. And it does happen that way around. But I feel like there has been a gap. I feel like there has been a gap with men and women, especially in life. I feel like women nowadays are doing a lot better than men. Simply because I feel like women as well, they're more driven and more focused. And I feel like because they've been oppressed for so long, and now they're at a time when you've got women's rights and all this stuff, they've slowly taken over. Rightly so, you can say, and a lot of them are having kids later and stuff like that. And I feel like this is the time they've creeped up, and I feel like women work together a bit more. But will it change? I don't know. I see the next generation coming up. No disrespect, but everybody seems to be the same nowadays. Everybody wants to be a drill rapper. Everyone's wearing ski masks. I see a 12-year-old kid wearing a ski mask in a shopping centre. What's a 12-year-old doing with a ski mask? I don't understand. Everyone's wearing night techs. Everybody, talks the same. Everyone has the same haircut. Everyone looks the same. Everybody wants to be a footballer. Everyone wants to be a rapper. It's just like, what's wrong with being a CEO of Google or what's the other one? Construction, like a site manager and stuff like that. There's jobs out there, but I feel like if we had more male role models of CEOs and stuff like that will come to schools and talk about the job. I don't even think they do that anymore. Like take your son to work day, or take, companies would come into schools and talk about their jobs and stuff like that. Job fairs will reach out. I don't know if they do that anymore. I don't know. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. If you think I'm right, if you think I'm wrong, what's your feelings on the subject? And yeah, let's go.